right, so we'll get started. Hello.
Okay, so the agenda for today, we're going to just go over some webinar reminders, go over some announcements. The training that we'll be having today is on entry, exit, household counts. Um, I believe that's a report that we'll be going over, password resets, and completing and uploading release of information in HMIS. And then we're just going to look at our new help desk website today as well.
Yes, and the training did change. I apologize to you all. We're going to be going over the entry exit household count report instead of the bed night report. Sorry.
Okay, then same as always, just whatever you learned today, please share with the appropriate staff at your agency. Please ask your questions in the Q&A function. Um, and then attendance will be collected by a survey at the end of this session. And recording and notes will be sent out on Monday, June 1st. So the deadline to complete the quiz will be Friday, June 5th.
Should I mute myself? Okay, perfect. Okay, so the only announcement is just giving a monthly update on the vendor transition status. So we talked about this before, but we'll just talk about it every single month to make sure that everyone's sort of, aware of what's happening and well informed. So we're still moving forward with OpenPath, which is a software by Green River. And you can see in the bottom here, this is the tentative timeline. So for Maricopa, it is currently May, but you can see the teal, green, blue, whatever color is most appropriate, not my strong suit. But for Maricopa, we're transitioning between now May through October with the go live of September. And we're doing a staggered approach throughout the state. So Balance of State will start their transition planning in July, which will probably happen, actually start in May because we do work with both Balance of State and Maricopa. So Balance of State has sort of an advantage in that regard. But Balance of State officially will start their transition planning in July with a go live in November of 2026 before completely leaving WellSky at the end of December. And Pima County, for those of you who also work in Pima, that transition will begin in August with a go live of December of 2026. So this is a very tentative timeline. It will be certainly September that Maricopa definitely has to go ahead, October the very latest, to be transitioned into a new vendor. So we're still finalizing the plans and all sorts of different things with the transitions. There will be a couple of service disruptions and changes during the transition that we just want to give you a heads up about, but nothing at this point. When we actually transition vendors from WellSky to OpenPath, there'll be a massive migration of data, and there'll be a blackout period of about 1 day where no one can go ahead and access this system. So we'll get plenty of notice of that way ahead of time. We'll probably aim for a weekend as well, but we'll go ahead and just communicate with providers as best we can and get input. But there will be a blackout day around September for Maricopa and November for Balance of State and December in TPCH or Pima County, where you just won't be able to access the system as all that data migrates from one system to another. At one point, there will also be a freeze on customizations. So there's going to be a freeze on new questions, new assessments, and things like that, because what is happening is that the new vendor, Green River, will be taking basically a snapshot of a current database with WellSky, and they're going to map it from WellSky to their new software, Green River's OpenPath. To make sure that goes seamlessly and smoothly, adding additional data elements, questions, and stuff sort of last minute messes up the data framework, the data structure, and will make it harder to transition smoothly, and will make that blackout period longer if we have a lot of additional unexpected customization. So at some point, I would suspect near the end of July, there'll be a freeze on new questions and new sort of changes to the structure of the data. But we'll get more specific about that as we get closer to that July timeframe. The last piece that we'll sort of note is that there will be some reporting limitations as we go live in September for Maricopa and November in Balance of State. That is because we have a lot of reporting currently in the software and SAP. Now, Green River does have a very robust amount of reporting. Sort of in WellSky, we have some canned reporting. We have a handful of reports like the COCAPR and services and referrals. Green River's suite of reports is much more robust and sort of much more well built out. But for any custom reports that are in SAP, dashboards, there will be some time frame in which we'll have to transition that reporting, and it's not all going to happen on day one. So we'll be communicating with agencies over the next few months to sort of prioritize the most important reports, what affects funding, what doesn't, and sort of transition that in a timely way. But we will be talking with each agency about their reporting and custom workflows as well. So, for example, the Family Housing Hub has a custom workflow. It's really important to their day-to-day work. And so we want to make sure that we identify all those workflows and reports that are sort of mission critical for agencies. But those mission critical things will be focused on first, and then other reporting that is less priority will take a little more time. The final bullet point here is just about training. So I do see one question, is this going to require new training? It absolutely will. It will be a new vendor with a totally different software, different functionality. There'll probably be things that are familiar and some things that are not familiar. You're probably going to lose some functionalities that, like EDA mode, sort of is second nature in our current software. That probably is not a thing in the new software either. So we will be building out training. So we've built out some tentative timelines for that as well. But right now we're taking a stock of all the current workflows that we have, all documentation, all reporting guides, all forms, all videos, and we're going to try to restructure those in a better way, honestly, for the new vendor. We plan to train closer to the go live date, so in July or August. So we'll have the materials ready for then, and then train in those closer to September. The vendor sort of has experience with this, and they've noted that when they train too far in advance, 3 months in advance, and then go live 3 months later, users are generally not satisfied and don't retain the training. So we will have a lot more details about that training plan, but I would expect to see a whole suite of new training in July or August for Maricopa. And that would, as a default, be available to Balance of State as well. But we would be pushing that for Balance of State in September and October. So, and for Pima County, we'll probably go ahead and share some training materials, but we still got to finalize that. And TPCH does have its own HMIS lead, so they may have a different direction they want to go with training. But that's the current update. Next month, we'll probably have many more updates, and it's just going to be, you're going to receive a lot of emails as well via MailChimp. So we're going to try to over communicate because it's a pretty big change. And if you ever have any questions or just curious about something, please feel free to reach out to me or submit a ticket to the help desk. And I'd rather go ahead and, answer any questions, even if I don't have the answers right now, put it in sort of a document, some notes, and make sure that when we do have those answers, we can follow up with you directly. So, but that's our big announcement and sort of the progress we are with the vendor transition.
So, I'll go ahead and take this part. So like we said before, we're gonna go ahead and just review the entry exit household report. So this report provides a count of clients and households based on their movement in the program or reporting group. So as you can see here, it's giving you, household served, client served, and then it breaks it down again, their movement through the program. So like people who are entering like their first day on the reporting period, leaving during the reporting period, and stayers. So that's kind of the first breakdown. But then the report also pulls, the breakdown of households and client serves. It'll pull their basic demographic information like name, date of birth, race and ethnicity. Also, the head of household at entry, and then the exit information like reasons for leaving, exit destination, exit types, like whether it's a positive exit destination, and then also it'll give you the household types, and then whether the person's an adult or a child, and again, the people who are entering, leaving, are staying during that reporting period. So a lot of good information, on your programs if you're, looking for like a snapshot in time as far as the reporting period for your program or multiple programs. So a really good report in my opinion. And then the report's located in SAP, in the Common Agency reports folder, or in the Balance of State SAP, it's the Common Reports folder. So again, just a really good report that gives you a lot of good information about your program. I don't see any questions on the report, but if you do have any, just again, throw it in the Q&A and then we can circle back to it.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining with us today. I'm going to talk about two things that that are important to our data. Agency admins do have the ability to reset passwords for your users. We don't mind resetting the passwords at all, but this is just another avenue for you guys to be able to use for your staff. This can reduce downtime and keep staff moving forward without unnecessary delays. And we all know how easy it is to forget a password and or mistype it. 3 failed attempts does lock you out of your account. When a user gets locked out, they usually need to submit a ticket to the HMIS help desk to regain access, which we truly, like I said, do not mind doing. However, depending on time, workload, holidays, and or factors, resolutions may not always be as fast as you would like them. Agency admins have the ability to resolve this issue right away. I do want you to know that that there is a password reset via email, but that does not work for all agencies. This could be because the filtering system or security policies are in place, so the firewall is up. So the password reset email doesn't always work. We do get a lot of questions on that, and that's why that does not work. That depends on your agency's firewall. There are benefits to knowing how to reset your password. Faster internal support. It allows agencies to support their staff quickly, while instead of waiting for just the help desk response. Staff can gain access more faster than normal. Services to the clients is less likely to be delayed, especially in situations of like the encrypted emails. It takes us a little longer to answer them back. A password reset only takes a few minutes and can often be completed faster than submitting a help desk ticket. This may also improve your productivity. It is especially important during an intake, outreach, and emergency situations where immediate system access is needed. It becomes helpful during urgent situations or after-hour support. Knowing this process is also helpful when staff work outside of the help desk support hours during holidays and or help desk closure days. Admins can still assist staff in regaining access. I am going to show you here in a moment how to do that. Even though this is a quick and simple process, the security means important. Please do not share openly with anybody other people's passwords, and make sure that the users are creating their own unique password. Knowing how to perform a password reset can save time, reduce frustration, and help keep agency operations running smoothly while also minimizing interruptions of client services. And I'm going to go ahead and take the screen real quick. So what you do for resetting a password was you go to the admin section on the left-hand side. You would just click on that. Go to user admin, and you click on that. And you would type in your user by client name, or by their name or username. And when it pops up, just click on the pencil, and you'll see here is the password reset area. If they have 3 consecutive missed logins, you just reset it right here. You would just hit the reset button, and that would reset it, which would then also leave them with their password that they've already created. They don't have to create another one if they just mistyped it. If they don't remember it, then you'd have to come up here to where it says password. You'd click on generate password, and a new password would generate, and then you would just save and exit on that with the new password that you created. And that's how you do a password reset. I'm going to give it back to you, Stephanie, and then I'll go to my next slide. Any questions on the password reset at all that we can answer for you right now? If not, I'm going to move on to ROIs. Okay. All right. Consider the HMIS file attachment section in your client's profile as a folder within a filing cabinet. It is a secure place to store any important documents like DD-214s, license DLs, or IDs or anything like that. That can help support and move the client forward on their journey towards hope and stability. The process is pretty simple. I am going to run it through with you here in a moment, but as you can see on the slide, it does kind of tell you the process. The ROI is one of the most important parts of protecting client information. Uploading a paper copy is not required, but it is highly recommended. Uploading the signed ROI can help verify clients' consent during audits and monitoring, and proper ROI documentation helps protect both the client and the agency. It matters because it helps protect the client's privacy. Clients know more information if they are aware of what's within the ROI. It ensures that clients understand the information and that will be shared in the system. It provides legal and informed consent. Completing the ROI helps agencies remain compliant with privacy and confidentiality standards. Documentation, consent properly, helps protect client privacy while allowing responsible information sharing within HMIS. It supports coordination of care. Sharing information responsibly allows providers to better coordinate housing, services, and support for their clients. It also improves communication and collaboration between agencies. It can help to protect agencies and staff as well as the client. Uploading the paper copy does help also provide us, in case a name change, we can look back at the old ROI and see if that client's name was prior to a name change. There are two places that the ROI can be uploaded. One is in the file attachment area found under the client profile tab, and the second place is under the ROI tab by clicking on the paper clip. I'll go ahead and let's see. Okay. So one of the first places for the ROI to be uploaded would be under the client profile tab. Down here under file attachments. You can upload the ROI by just clicking on the file attachment here. And when it says to choose file, you want to choose the file that you want to upload, which would be the Testerson one that you see here. And then it will look like this once it is uploaded. It shows you here that the file attachment is now uploaded. You can also find this button under the ROI tab and going under the paper clip right there. Again, this allows us to know that the client did give consent and that we are good to go on protecting the client's information. That's it. Back to you, Stephanie.
And I did, there was a comment that Chrissy put that they've noticed that if you put the HMS ROI in the ROI tab, it populates on the file attachments, and that is totally true. It doesn't work in the reverse. And so that is sort of nice. If you attach in the ROI tab, it will also show up in the file attachments with the same sort of limited visibility. But it doesn't work in the reverse.
Thank you, Frankie. And then Ali will go over our website.
Hi again, everyone. So we did have a little bit of an update to our website. So there's not a lot that's different between the old website and the new website. And I'll just kind of go over some of those things. I did add our help desk number as well as our hours on this slide if you need to write them down, because it is no longer on our website. We are working to get it back up there, but for now, if you need to write the number down or you have to come refer back to this webinar, feel free to. And then I will just take sharing. Okay, so this is the Solari community website page. So if you find yourself at this page, it's super easy to get to the HMIS part. You can come up here to programs where it has our different programs listed, and you can go to the Homeless Management Information System right here. Or if you just scroll down just a little bit, you'll come across these cards, and you can just go right to the HMIS, click Learn More, and it brings you to the specific HMIS part. It used to, right here, used to kind of have where the help desk number was. Again, we are working on getting that back. It has similar information to what it was last time, a little bit about HMIS, the role of HMIS within the community and how it works with you all. Our role as the lead HMIS lead within Balance of State and Maricopa County. Down here, this is new. This is a contact us section. This is not for tickets. We have had some questions about this previously. This is not for tickets. The ticket section is still the same, but this is just if you had if there were questions, if you weren't necessarily HMIS related, would come here. But not for tickets. So don't put client information in there. Don't do this for merges, any of that, or password resets. It's because it's not for tickets. The ticket section, if you have the submitted ticket bookmarked on your computer, the ticketing portal is the same link. This also has all the forms that you need for tickets. So the user packet, all of that is still the same. We made sure that everything merged over correctly before giving RIT the okay. Submit a ticket, still the same. You click on that and it brings you to the next website where you will submit the ticket. Up here, training is also the same. So live virtual training link will take you to the Eventbrite link, where you can sign up for the different live trainings for new users or for the advanced reporting training. Recorded training material, again, we made sure that everything merged over correctly. So if you click the Balance of State LMS link, it will take you to the Balance of State link. Policy and forms. Again, we made sure that everything works. So if you need any of the paper forms, if you're going out and doing street outreach and can't bring your laptop, all of the forms are correct. Dashboard and reports, still the same. And then again, this contact us is the same as that first page where it just brings you down here where you can get in contact with 211, Dwell, on all of these, and we can get back to you. Again, not for tickets. We've had some people send some ticket stuff through here, and it's not set up for tickets. Does anybody have any questions in regards to the new website or the new homepage, I should say?
I don't see any question.
Okay. I will send it back to you. But yeah, so that is the help desk number once again. If you need to write it down, feel free to.
Okay. And so over the past few months and past 3 months, we've had 79 different agencies attend these agency admin webinars, which is pretty great. There's probably about 40 agencies over the past 3 months that have not attended, but that's okay. So we do want these things to be very useful, very helpful. We really appreciate the number of agencies that have shown up already, and some agencies send quite a number of people to these as well. But 79 agencies out of 100 plus is pretty good, in my opinion. And not every agency makes it every month, but that's a pretty good rate. So we were pretty surprised and pretty impressed by that, and we really appreciate everyone's participation. We have a lot of agencies also view this online afterwards with the recording that comes out on Monday. So we just really appreciate that.
All right, I don't see any questions, so we'll go ahead and conclude. Again, thank you all for joining. Your feedback is very important, so please fill out the survey, add any feedback you want, and then we'll see you guys next time.